Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan and I'm here to bring you live coverage of this high school girls lacrosse game between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Needham High Rockets. This game originally slated to start at 3:45, but operating on a bit of a delay here, Needham took a little bit longer than expected getting here, and so the teams are now warming up. I expect we'll start shortly. Whenever we do start, I'll be here to provide you with the play-by-play commentary for this high school girls lacrosse matchup. In the meantime, we can take a quick look at the two teams' lineups, starting with the home team, Brookline. A senior defender, number 13, Ava Bauman. A freshman midfielder, number 28, Abby Cooney. A senior midfielder, number 9, Anya Downey. A sophomore defender, number 20, Ellery Eisenhower. A junior defender, number 18, Jada Kelly. A senior goalie, number 25, Kaylin Karain. A freshman attacker, number 11, Madison Karain. A senior attacker, number 5, Fiona Lawrence. A senior defender, number 7, Nina Luby. A junior attacker, number 14, Kellen McNamara. A senior attacker, number 19, Ayana Medina. A senior defender, number 10, Zoe Mendoza. A junior defender, number 17, Lee Mitchell. A senior attacker, number 3, Andrea Modakadis. A senior attacker, number 12, Hannah Park. A senior defender, number 16, Lily Rogers. A sophomore midfielder, number 8, Faith Rothstein. A sophomore midfielder, number 9, Charlotte Smith. Another sophomore midfielder, number 15, Talia Thompson. And then finally, a senior attacker, number 5, Charlotte Vincent. So either Lawrence or Vincent, probably wearing a different jersey number from number 5. Hopefully I'll be able to discern that as we go. And to any who are watching and listening to this stream, if I flub the pronunciation of any names, and you know I flubbed them, please don't hesitate to let me know in the live chat. I want to give as accurate a broadcast for these young ladies as I can. On that note, we will switch over to the Needham roster, and unfortunately I only have last names for the Rockets, but I'm still going to do what I can. An attacker, number 19, Pizzono. An attacker, number 13, Magulivari. An attacker, number 3, Kelly. An attacker, number 24, Foster. A midfielder, number 6, Kelly. A midfielder, number 17, Schmaltz. A midfielder, number 5, Yonchak. A defender, number 1, Bernie. A defender, number 11, Hoffmeister. A defender, number 27, Tolman. A defender, number 7, Conry. And a goalie, number 30, Foster. I believe that is the starting lineup. Off the bench, they have an attacker, number 2, Clayman. An attacker, number 4, Crisafulli. A defender, number 18, Musiak. A defender, number 12, Buffinger. An attacker, number 8, Flack. A defender, number 15, Carroll. An attacker, number 25, English. An attacker, number 21, D'Amelio. A goalie, number 38, Thomas. And a goalie, number 29, Baker. So a slightly deeper roster on the Needham side. we'll see how these two teams end up matching up. The Brookline Warriors won their season opener last Friday at home against Milton. They won that by a score of 10-2. They played Weymouth on Tuesday, but unfortunately I was not able to find the results of that game. Those of you who follow my broadcast know I was here on Tuesday covering the boys lacrosse game against Weymouth. A tough result, that one. That ended in a double-digit loss for the Warriors. So we'll see how the Warriors girls lacrosse team fares, having come back home. We'll see if they can keep their undefeated home record alive. Speaking of those who follow my past broadcasts, one of the nice things about getting to cover multiple seasons here with Brookline High is I get to recognize so many names from previous sports that I covered. For those of you might remember some of my past broadcasts, Nina Luby was a member of the girls hockey team. Kellen McNamara played for both the girls soccer and girls hockey teams. Ayana Medina was a big part of the girls volleyball team. Faith Rothstein was also on the girls hockey team. And Talia Thompson played for both the girls soccer and girls basketball teams. And you know, with a school as big as Brookline High, it is very easy to find yourself becoming a one-sport athlete, just because the competition can be so much tougher to make a roster, and you feel like you got to focus all your efforts on the one sport that you have a chance of making a roster on, because the others you're just not going to make it no matter what you do. But when you see a multitude of multi-sport athletes like I'm seeing on this roster, it really warms your heart to see. You know, playing multiple sports, giving yourself a well-rounded exercise of various muscles, it's good for your long-term health. You know, anyone who pays attention to the sports medicine scene certainly knows the concerns that come with sports specialization and the overuse injuries that can be done to athletes' muscles if they just play the same sport again and again without a proper supplemental workout to keep things nice and balanced. All that a very roundabout way to say I'm happy to see some names I'm familiar with. And, of course, speaking of lacrosse athletes who played multiple sports, just a little personal note here. My younger sister was a member of the girls lacrosse team as well as some other teams, including ice hockey and field hockey. That was my younger sister, Anita Mayfield-Sheehan, who played multiple sports, and as fate would have it, it is actually her birthday today. So happy birthday to my younger sister, a former member of this Warriors girls lacrosse team. Just a little personal note out there. I hope nobody minds. And seems like I have a message from MT Sports on my live chat asking about a highlight video from the softball game that I covered yesterday. And I'm happy to provide a highlight video for you. Just reach out to me through my email, jgms88@gmail.com, and we can discuss the details. Once again, that is jgms88@gmail.com. So the two teams still warming up. It seems like Brookline is heading for the sideline, so we might be starting soon. Needham's still warming up around their net. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, live here at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. And as we're still warming up, I will be taking a short mute break, but I'll be back for the start of this game. Stay tuned. And I'm back here at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, here to bring you live coverage of this high school girls lacrosse game between the hosting Brookline High Warriors, starting from my left in the white jerseys, and the visiting Needham High Rockets, starting from my right, playing in the navy jerseys. Looks like we're about ready to get underway here. Teams getting in one last huddle before we go. As you might be able to see, we do have a small scoreboard around here at midfield on the other side, which will help us keep track of the score in case there's a lot of goals. Two teams sending out their starting lineups. And it looks like we're about ready for the opening draw of this game. Getting control of the draw is so vital in girls lacrosse because it gives you such a big advantage for scoring. The rules of girls lacrosse very heavily favor the offense, and so if you can get yourself the offensive possession right from the outset, it's huge. It'll be Anya Downing taking the draw for Brookline against what appears to be number 6 on Needham's side. Here we go. The draw is pulled, loose ball, scrum for it. It's picked up by Needham. That's number 5 running with it, being chased by Downey. She keeps running, runs into the defense, tries to fake her way around, gets smothered, retreats back out, and it seems we've got a whistle. Oh, it looks like we're going to have a free position shot for Needham's number 5. Good chance for a goal here. There's the whistle, the shot, and scored! First goal of the game for number 5, Yonchak. As I said, you get that offensive possession. In girls lacrosse, there's a good chance you're going to score. She did a great job running the field, drawing the penalty, and then finishing on the shot off the free position. 1-0, Needham now leads Brookline. Off the goal by Yonchak. It'll be Downey once again taking on Kelly, the draw specialist for Needham. The draw is taken once again, and it looks like it's going to be picked up again by Yonchak. Yonchak running with it once again, being pursued by Downey, sends a pass over to 17. 17 trying to find an opening, has to pass back to Kelly, number 6. She swings a pass over to her teammate. They send it down to the corner, acting behind the net now. Swings a pass over to, I believe, 18, and then 3, and then back over to 5, Yonchak, who has the goal. Her pass skips away from a couple players, but is ultimately picked up by Kelly. Kelly sends another pass over to number 13, who is operating behind the net. Comes out from behind, gets defended, sends a floater pass, and it's picked up and shot in. Looked like there was a chance for a turnover there, but well recovered by Needham's number 3, Kelly. That is G. Kelly, whereas the draw specialist is K. Kelly, and their last names are spelled ever so slightly differently. G. Kelly, the one who scored the goal, spells it K-E-L-L-E-Y, whereas K. Kelly, the draw specialist, spells it K-E-L-L-Y. It's 2-0 in favor of Needham after goals from Yonchak and Kelly. They've gotten the first 2 draws, and that's been crucial thus far. No turnovers yet in this game. 2-0 Rockets. This draw is going to be battled for, and we got a whistle, and it looks like Brookline's going to get their first possession. Anya Downing running with it for the Warriors. Still running. Gets defended, almost loses the ball, but recovers it. Trying to find an opening, maybe a teammate to pass to. Decides to swing it over to number 6 and then over to number 14. Back behind the net. Quick ball movement. That one went to number 12. Another quick pass over. Ball is lost on the pass, and it's picked up by Needham's number 17. So Brookline with the first offensive turnover of the day. As they're sending some quick passes, it's back over to number 3, G. Kelly, who scored the second goal of the game, running with it. Defender in pursuit, finds a pass. That's Yonchak, who runs around the back, well defended. Yonchak gives it back over to Kelly, who sends it back up top to K. Kelly. Kelly tries to attack it, being well defended, double teamed, and that's going to be a whistle. Too physical on the defense from Brookline, and it's going to be another free position opportunity. There's the whistle, the shot, and it's in. Third goal of the game for Needham thus far, that one from number 6, Kay Kelly. Once again, they draw the penalty. And we'll be going back to the circle. It looks like they'll be having number 5, Yonchak, taking the draw this time against Downey. And the draw is taken, and it's a scrum for it. It looks like it's won by Needham's number 17, but then it's taken away. This is Downey running with it now. Anya Downing getting across midfield, still sprinting with it, looking for an opening around a defender. She's got a bit of room to run, but now being attacked from behind. The ball gets hacked out of her stick, but it looks like they're going to call the foul. So Downey will have it from the free position herself. A bit of a distance between her and the net might be a little bit tough. She might opt to go for a pass instead of a shot. We'll see what she does. She decides to pull back and retreat. That's McNamara. It's over. Now fighting for some, who then gave possession. But either way, the pass goes Needham, although the aggressive pass it. Over to 3. Almost lost for a second, but recovered by McNamara. McNamara running around behind the net. Couple of passes around. It goes back up top to Downey. Passed over to Medina from the right wing. Sends it over along to number 5. Her way out of traffic. Manages to retreat. So Needham continues running away with it. I can't see the scoreboard as it looks like somebody's working on it right now. Okay, looks like I was able to get our connection back. Apologies about that, folks. I ran out of data there for my Wi-Fi hotspot and had to quickly try to come up with something else. Just trying to reorient myself about where exactly we are in the game. That was a bit of a hiccup on my end. All right, it seems we are at halftime, and the score is 10-1 in favor of Needham. So, okay, connection might still be a bit iffy, but I'm still going to try my best to keep it going. Once again, my name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm here live at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts for this high school girls lacrosse game between the visiting Needham High Rockets and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. We are through 2 out of 4 periods thus far. Needham with a commanding 10-1 lead over Brookline. Brookline's lone score coming from their senior midfielder, Anya Downey, excuse me. Meanwhile, a few goals from a few different scorers here from Needham. I know they got multiple goals from Paisono and from G. Kelly. And I know they got at least one goal each from Foster, K. Kelly, and Yonchak. So I think there's a couple goals I'm still missing. I think Yonchak has 2 goals as well. And I think that accounts for about 9 of the scores, if I'm doing my math correctly. And I forgot 1 goal by Schmaltz. So yeah, I believe so far it's 2 goals apiece for G. Kelly, Yonchak, and Paisono. And then 1 goal apiece for Foster, K. Kelly, Schmaltz, and I think there's 1 more I'm missing. And either way, it seems like we're about to get the second half underway. And get this broadcast back on track. Again, my apologies for my losing track of things a little bit. I dealt with significant technical hiccups there in the first half, as my live stream kind of cut out for a lengthy period there. It seems like we've got things back in order, as I found a different Wi-Fi to connect to. And hopefully things will stay in working order. Score appears to be about 10-1 in favor of Needham as we get ready for the first draw of the second half. It looks like it'll be Faith Rothstein taking the draw for Brookline. I can't quite see which Needham player it is taking the draw against Rothstein. Draw is taken, and a bit of a scrum for it, and still being chased. And chased all the way to the far sideline and ultimately picked up by K. Kelly, who took the draw for Needham. She passed it ahead to Paisono. Paisono races through her defenders and scores immediately. Paisono immediately provides herself with the hat trick with that goal right there, and she's been unstoppable on those fast breaks. 11-1 now the score in favor of the Rockets. After that goal from Paisono, assisted by K. Kelly. Kelly now heading back to take the draw against Rothstein once again. Draw is taken, and it looks like it's collected by Needham's number 17. And it looks like there's going to be a whistle against Brookline's number 6 against number 17, Schmaltz. Schmaltz passes it over to Kelly. K. Kelly working with it. Passes over to Schmaltz. Schmaltz working against Brookline's number 6. Going around behind the net. Schmaltz still looking for an opening, well defended. And she tries to throw one behind the net to Yonchak. Yonchak loses it but collects it. Now running with it. Hits a defensive wall and has to retreat and give it over to one of her teammates. And now the attempted shot is well defended by Brookline, but the rebound is collected by Maddie Foster, who gives it over to K. Kelly, and now over to G. Kelly. G. Kelly starts charging in, breaks her way through a wall of defenders, and puts it in for the score. A hat trick for G. Kelly as well, as she forced her way through a sandwich of Brookline defenders and then faked out Karain before putting in the shot. 12-1 in favor of Needham. After that score, 2 players now with hat tricks for the day, those being Paisono and G. Kelly. It'll now be number 6 for Brookline taking the draw. And unfortunately, number 6 is not on my roster that I was given. Battle for the draw ultimately goes to Brookline after the whistle, and it'll be number 6 running with it. If anyone watching this knows who number 6 is, feel free to let me know in the live chat. Pass ahead to 28, and that pass attempted for, I believe, Downey was intercepted by K. Kelly. Thrown ahead to number 13. Number 13 running with it, being chased by Downey, and has the ball knocked away. Picked up in front of the net by Paisono. And now we've got a whistle. Paisono will now be operating out of the free position after the whistle, and she decides to pull back to get a play set. Passed over to G. Kelly. Kelly operating from the right wing. Looking around as her teammates run around, try and get an opening. Well defended by Brookline. And finally she tries to force her way through, but can't do it. The ball gets recovered by Brookline. Nice defense by Talia Thompson. And the loose ball was recovered by number 16, Lily Rogers. Rogers sends the pass ahead to Downey. Downey trying to run around some defenders. Coming along the sideline. Gets around Schmaltz and throws a pass that gets away from her teammate and is picked up by Foster. Foster passes it out to number 1, sends a long pass aimed at Maddie Foster, and it's intercepted by Brookline, taken by Talia Thompson. Thompson running with it. Surveys, looks for a pass, sends it over to McNamara, but it's dropped and picked up by Needham's K. Kelly. Passed ahead to Maddie Foster. Foster running with it, sends a pass ahead to number 13. Number 13 running with it. Gets past a couple defenders, finally runs into one last one that forces her out. And it looks like they're going to call the penalty on Brookline's number 7, Nina Luby, who was operating as the last line of defense. And so it'll be a free position play for Needham's number 13. She decides to just send a pass behind the net to G. Kelly. Kelly coming around the back, well defended, trying to force her way through, goes for a low shot, saved by Karain. The saved shot is recovered by Downey, and after a whistle, she gets to get things moving in transition. Downey sends a long pass ahead, it's completed. This is Abby Cooney with the ball. Trying to get around her defender. She moves behind the net. Swings a pass over. They try to pass it into an attack space, and it's lost for a second. Almost picked up by Thompson, but then picked up by Schmaltz. Or no, by Maddie Foster. But Foster's long pass misses her target, and it looks like it'll be picked up by Rogers. Rogers now running with it, sends a pass ahead to number 6, and that one misses. And it's picked up by Schmaltz. So everybody missing passes right now. Schmaltz now running with it. Decides to, has it taken away by Karain. Brookline moving with it. They've passed it ahead. It's now with Ayana Medina. Medina taking off with it. Has it taken away from behind. And she loses the ball. Needham's number 7 with the takeaway there. And the pass is juggled by number 11, but ultimately collected. Couple passes, it gets ahead to number 13. Sent all the way ahead, and now an attempted pass for number 4 is missed and will go out of bounds. And now Brookline after the turnover. A couple passes. This one's intercepted by Maddie Foster. A pass to Paisono in front of the net, and she scores easily. Well played by Maddie Foster to intercept the pass from Kaylin Karain, and then a good find getting Paisono right in front of the net with no one to beat but the goalie. So if I have not lost count, and there's a good chance I have, then the score should be about 13-1 in favor of Needham. And that's what it looks like on the scoreboard, as Paisono scores what I believe is her 4th goal of the game so far. It'll be Brookline's number 6 taking the draw. Against Kay Kelly, and it gets picked up by Schmaltz. Schmaltz brings it across midfield. Tries a retreating pass, well defended and taken away by Downey. And they blow the whistle against Needham, and so Downey will be operating freely. Downey now bringing it in transition. Passes it over to Medina. Medina looking for an attack. She starts to charge. She's got an opening shot. Scores! Ayana Medina with the 2nd goal of the game for Brookline. Some nice moves there. Started to approach slowly. Deked out her defender and then just charged like a woman on a mission and found the back of the net. 13-2 now the score in favor of Needham. Brookline's 2 goal scorers thus far, Anya Downey and Ayana Medina with 1 each. Needham being led by 4 scores from Paisono. The draw is taken by Jonchak and passes it ahead, finds Maddie Foster. Foster running with it, looking for a pass, finds Jonchak. Jonchak well defended though. Passing it around, nice defense by Nina Luby. Pass goes back to Kelly. Okay, Kelly sends it over to Maddie Foster. As 2 teams just sort of standing around. Now it's passed over to Kelly. Okay, Kelly moving with it. Going to her right, now going behind the net. We've got the bunch formation again from Needham. Running through the crowd, the pass for number 4 misses, but is recovered by number 13. 13 swings a pass over to Jonchak. And now over to Maddie Foster. Now out the back to, I believe, number 2. Back to Foster. And now back to Jonchak. Passing back and forth, and it goes back to Jonchak again. Now over to Foster again. Needham taking it slow and steady here, but Foster now starting to drive and well defended. Some nice help defense there with Downey operating as the primary defender. Needham still operating with it, moving it slowly. 13 gives it over to Kay Kelly. Kelly over to number 13 as they're just passing it around, looking for any kind of opening to come here. Number 2 now charging towards the net, and she draws a penalty. This is number 2, Clayman. So Clayman operating out of the free position. She charges, goes for the shot, saved by Karain. And that's going to be the whistle to end the 3rd period here. The score, Needham 13, Brookline 2. So certainly a better period defensively for the Warriors after giving up about 6 goals in the first period. They then gave up 4 in the second and now 3 here in the third. So the Brookline defense has been settling down, although it's also possible that the Rockets just have kind of taken their foot off the gas a little bit with their substantial lead. But either way, we've seen some nice defensive plays from Brookline as the game's gone on. Multiple saves from goalie Kaylin Corraine after early on in the game. It seemed like every shot Needham took was an automatic in. Corraine seems to have settled down and reset herself. Offensively, the 2 scores for Brookline thus far as a helicopter goes over our heads. The 2 scores for Brookline thus far have come from number 9, Anya Downey, the senior midfielder, and from number 19, Ayana Medina, the senior attacker. Medina scoring hers in the third quarter, while Downey scored hers in the second. Meanwhile, among the 13 scores thus far for Needham, they are led by 4 goals from number 19, Paisono. They've also got 3 goals from G. Kelly. I believe 2 goals from Yonchak. And then a goal each from Foster, K. Kelly, Schmaltz, and then 1 goal I haven't quite accounted for. So as we get ready to take the field for the 4th quarter, once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Happy to be able to get this broadcast back up and running and finish things out after some technical difficulties in the first half. With my Wi-Fi, I was able to settle that one down. And now I can give you the rest of this game. So it'll be number 6 against number 6. And I think I heard the name Charlotte, so I think this is Charlotte Vincent taking the draw for Brookline against Kay Kelly. And the loose ball is being fought for. After the draw, it's picked up by Schmaltz. Schmaltz passes it ahead to number 13. 13 throws it, looking for and finding her teammate. That's Paisono, who was again cutting right in front of the net, but this time decided to retreat and pass it over to G. Kelly. Kelly working her way behind the net. Needham looks like they're getting ready to bunch up. Kelly still looking around for a passing lane. Brookline covering well. Kelly forces her way through and draws a penalty. As I said at the start of this broadcast, the rules in girls lacrosse can be very favorable to the offense. It can be very easy to get yourself in a good spot for a free position shot like Kelly's in right now, but she decides to just pass it out. That's Paisono with the ball. Sending it behind the net to Schmaltz. Actually, not Schmaltz, that's number 13, who now passes it over to G. Kelly. Kelly now passes it over, and a quick shot, and it's in. That was Paisono again. 5th goal of the game for Paisono. And Needham's lead goes to 14-2. So once again, it'll be Vincent against Kelly on the draw here after that most recent goal. Draw is taken, forced down towards the Brookline net, all the way across the attack line almost. And it looks like they're going to call a trip on Needham's Schmaltz against Brookline's McNamara. They give the ball to McNamara, and McNamara is running with it. Decides to send a pass over to number 5, Fiona Lawrence. Lawrence working around behind the net, looking for an opening. Gets double teamed, almost loses the ball but recovers it. Passes it out to Medina. Medina, one of the 2 goal scorers for Brookline so far today. And now Medina's starting to make a break for it. Hits a defensive player, passes to Downey, and Downey scores! Second goal of the day for Anya Downey off the assist from Ayana Medina. Nicely executed there. After her first goal, the Needham defense had to respect Medina's ability to attack the net. They defended it well, and Medina with a nice eye, finding Downey in front of the net with that floater pass, and then Downey, of course, finishing the job. 14-3, the score in favor of Needham here in the 4th quarter at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Draw is taken, and again, it's heading towards the attack line, ultimately picked up by Needham and thrown way ahead to Schmaltz. Schmaltz running with it. Attacked from behind, almost lost it. That was Charlotte Vincent coming on the defense, but it's recovered by Needham and passed back out to G. Kelly. Kelly passes to a cutting Maddie Foster, who puts it in. Foster with her 2nd goal of the day, I believe. And that makes it 15-2 in favor of Needham. A nice assist from G. Kelly. Needham again showing their strong ability to move the ball. I mean, I mentioned the names of all the goal scorers, but there have been quite a few very nice assists from the Needham Rockets so far today. And the results show on the scoreboard as we get ready for another draw. This draw goes in the opposite direction, and it's collected by Schmaltz, and Schmaltz is now going to run with it. She pulls up and passes it out to K. Kelly, who then swings it over to G. Kelly. Now back to K. Kelly. Kelly moving around, looking for a place to go. Decides to pass behind the net. I believe that's Janchak. Janchak looking for an attack. It's not there, so she sends a pass to Schmaltz. Schmaltz cutting around. And looks like they either drew a penalty or lost the ball. And they're going to say that was a penalty. So Schmaltz operating out of the free position here. And she decides to pull back and float a pass that goes over the head of Janchak and out of bounds. And so they'll turn that one over, and Brookline's going to take possession. Pass goes over to Crane. Crane's had some trouble with her outlet passes at some points today. She'll be trying to get things going here. Still surveying. Crane's still looking around, trying to find somebody to pass to. The Brookline players running around trying to get open as Crane keeps slowly advancing, looking for a pass. Finally, she throws one, finds her teammate. That was number 17, who now has it taken away from behind. And so after all that, they lose the ball and a couple of passes, and now it's Yonchak running with it for Needham. Yonchak flicks it ahead looking for 13, but misses her, and it's intercepted by Karain. Karain this time a quicker outlet pass, aiming for McNamara, and McNamara juggles it but collects it, now running along the far sideline. Finds a hole, cuts through, starts running ahead, but loses the ball as she goes past the attack line, and it's picked up by Kay Kelly. Nice defense there by Needham. Whistle stops the play, and it appears we have a timeout called. So a break in the action here. 15-3 is the score in favor of the visiting Needham Rockets. They hold that advantage over the home team Brookline Warriors. Here in the fourth quarter. The Rockets led by, I believe, 5 goals from Paisono, while Brookline has 2 goals from Anya Downey. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan live at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. And we are here in the fourth quarter of this high school girls lacrosse game. Brookline breaks out of the huddle. And Needham breaks out of their huddle. And so these two teams look ready to go. And so now running with it is Kay Kelly. Attempted pass for number 12 is lost and taken away by Rothstein. Rothstein running with it, sends a quick pass over to McNamara. McNamara running with it, sends a long pass ahead to number 5, Fiona Lawrence, who runs around the back. Lawrence passes it back to McNamara. McNamara coming from the left wing towards the center. Dumps it off for Rothstein. Rothstein working along the right wing, sends it back up top to Abby Cooney. Cooney running with it, well defended, being pushed back by Schmaltz. And Cooney decides to send it back up top to Downey, who then swings it over to McNamara. McNamara goes around a pick, takes a shot, saved by Foster. McNamara's had some good shots be stopped dead in their tracks by the Needham goalie, Foster. As Needham now works in transition. That is Kay Kelly running with it. Getting around a couple defenders and ultimately floating it ahead to number 4. Number 4 weaving her way through traffic and ultimately going behind the net. Surveying the field. Decides for a pass over to 13 and now over to 2, Clayman. Clayman passes it over to number 8, who tries to force her way through, has the ball poked away and picked up. Nice defense by Lee Mitchell, and the loose ball is recovered and run with here by, I believe, Talia Thompson. Thompson brings it across the attack line. She's still running with it, still trying to force her way through. No penalty called. She recovers the ball and flips it over to Ayana Medina. Medina. And it looks like they're going to call a defensive free 3 seconds. That's going to give Medina a free position opportunity. Medina with 1 goal and 1 assist already today. And she decides to pull back and pass it over to Downey. Downey now swings it over to McNamara, who then sends it over to Cooney, now behind the net, and sent over to Fiona Lawrence. Lawrence decides to send it out to McNamara. McNamara starts to charge, tries to force her way through, and draws a penalty. Almost lost the ball there, but the penalty was called on number 17, Schmaltz. And now McNamara with a free position chance, fairly close. She might go for the shot here. She charges, shoots, and scores! Kellen McNamara has been denied quite a few times, but not that time. 15-4 now the score. Needham well on its way to the road win here, but Brookline getting a few scores and getting some good work on their game for the future. Their 4th goal of the day scored by Kellen McNamara out of the free position. It'll be Charlotte Vincent going up against Maddie Foster in the draw here, and they blow the whistle and give the ball to Foster. Foster running with it. She gives it over to number 27. 27 floats it over to number 5, Yonchak, who sends it back to Maddie Foster, now back to Yonchak. Yonchak flips it over to number 27, who then sends it over to Schmaltz, and then over to Clayman, back to Schmaltz. And now up top to 27. They're just passing it back and forth at this point. It's now with Maddie Foster, and now back to Yonchak. Brookline defense starting to come out and attack, and Yonchak just runs around the defender and starts to charge, goes for the shot, saved by Karain. Karain's outlet pass goes to Downey, and she runs around one player and is now bringing it in transition. Passed ahead to Medina, juggled but recovered. Medina brings it past the attack lines, charging with it, trying to get her way through to defenders. Through, shoots, just misses. Rebound by Downey. Shot well defended and recovered by Foster. The outlet pass aimed for Maddie Foster is being fought for. Almost taken away by Downey, but I think that was the final whistle. Indeed it was. That's going to wrap up this game. The Needham High Rockets get the win here today, 15-4. Brookline Warriors suffer a tough home loss, but still a few bright spots here and there. Their defense got better and better with each quarter, giving up 6 goals in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, and then 2 in the fourth. And of course their offense improved over time as well, as they scored nothing in the first quarter, just 1 goal in the second and third quarters each, and then 2 goals in the fourth and final period. Leading scorer for Brookline is Anya Downey with 2 goals. The other 2 scorers, Ayana Medina and Kellen McNamara. McNamara scoring out of the free position, and Medina, of course, also providing the assist on Downey's second goal. So 15-4 your final score here at Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. If you like my broadcasts, you want to stay up to date on them, you can follow me on social media at Facebook and Instagram, links in the description of this video. And if you like what I do, you want to support me financially, I am operating as a volunteer here, covering these games for Brookline High. If you feel like supporting me financially, you can make a donation at either PayPal or Venmo. Again, links in the description. And in the meanwhile, that will wrap things up here for our girls lacrosse coverage. 15-4, once again, the final score. Needham defeats Brookline in Brookline. I'm Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan from Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, signing off. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your Thursday.